start.
Cool. There we go.
Hi, I'm Danay Garcia. I play Luciana.
Hi, I'm Nisenson, and I play Charlie.
Andrew Chambliss, showrunner.
Cool. Now, Andrew, with Dwight from The Walking Dead coming over, can you offer any hints about his journey and how Morgan might react to his return?
Ian and I were very excited to have the opportunity to bring Dwight over to Fear because we really left him in a very interesting place on The Walking Dead. And don't want to give away too much about his journey, how he ends up running into these other characters. But we'll say it's definitely a bit of a surprise. And the interesting thing about Dwight is he is in a very similar place emotionally as the rest of the group is. Everyone's trying to make up for all the dark things they've done. And if we remember, the last thing that Daryl said to Dwight on The Walking Dead when he spared his life was, find her and make it right. So I can say Dwight is going to be most likely trying to do both of those things.
Do anything? For both ladies, with such apocalyptic shows and content killing off women for man pain and a majority of them being male-centered, what does the woman's narrative bring to such apocalyptic stories?
It's interesting because when you're telling this kind of story, you don't think of, well, oh, I'm a woman, I should not do this, or he's a man, he should take care of that. This is one of the stories that we're definitely equal, and we kind of like relied on each other to survive, and that's kind of like, it's so refreshing that there's no difference. Yeah. Like, hey, take over. Sure, I'll take over. It's not like, oh, wait, sit down, you need to be in the shade.
Yeah.
It's one of those, stories that I'm so proud that the writers and the showrunners take great. They give so much power to women and to what we can do in times of crisis, and also use our instincts. Like, hey, don't do that. Hey, stay. You can see how to be leaders and to kind of like take over in times of in a men's world. Somehow the apocalypse, our apocalypse is kind of like our. It's not a men's world so much. It's our world.
We all need each other. We're all a group, and that's really special.
Yeah, especially for like a young, future young woman. She even Charlie's character. She has her own story that we kind of like, wow, what do you want to do? Like even children, we actually give that benefit of the doubt. It's amazing.
Definitely.
And I was going to ask about that because being a woman in this type of situation, you kind of have to show your strength, and it's really cool to see that where you're like, no, we have to actually be the tough ones, and we can actually do it. So how does it feel to kind of change that from other roles that you may have done, because you guys are getting pretty dirty.
Well, that's the refreshing part. It's actually
cool.
refreshing that you don't question that. Like, oh, they're giving me a chance to be a woman. It's like it's there in every script. It's like it's her time to like shine. We're there to support her. It's like, and also for Morgan, male or female, like we all have equal rights to kind of survive the apocalypse.
The same playing field, basically.
And nobody questions it too. It's like we all have this trust that you can handle it. You have no choice, basically.
And I think also Ann and Andrew and everyone have created such amazing characters for Charlie to look up to, and for her to be surrounded with, and that's really special.
Yeah, with powerful women, because that's really what the future needs.
Right. And it really is all of Charlie's role models. It's been Luciana, it's been
Alicia.
Everyone really,
And we also
so
pay
special.
attention to that, when you bring a child to the story, and what do even when you make mistakes, you're like, what am I leaving out? Especially, from a woman's, or because this is the future, and that's what we want to also put out there to the world.
And that's something, that I thought about too, when you do have someone younger going into such tough situations, how difficult is it for you to try to transition to those things? Because look, you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you so
Great
much.
acting.
You're very sweet.
So it just seems like real. It's very real when you watch it. So how difficult is it to try to put yourself into those situations?
Personally, I always have loved to do very dramatic, intense scenes. So for me, I thrive on it. I love it, and I think it's really cool to get to do something different where you're not, where you're in the dirt and the mud and you're killing people and all that stuff. And it's like you're killing zombies. It's just such a cool thing. So so different. Not a lot of people can say that they get to do that every day.
No.
And I love it.
It's really cool.
It's really awesome.
Video games is where we get to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's a big difference.
Yes, a very big difference.
But I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, Alexa just took to it so quickly, and like when we first brought Charlie onto the show, our plans were for her to be part of the Vulture storyline. And then when we saw kind of how well she took to the world and how grounded she made it all feel, that's really when we said, like, wait, Charlie's a character that we need to see more of. And yeah, and it led to us, you know, doing 410 and really seeing, digging into her kind of emotional life and pushing it further than we'd seen.
It was really refreshing to also see this universe through a child's eyes, you know, how she's so innocent and how you can really get caught up into so many places that you don't even know where you are, but she's so loyal to what survival, and it was really nice to see that character, the child version in that world, the filter that kids have. It was for me a learning experience.
Well, we're glad you kept her on.
Yeah.
Me too.
Do you think she's remained that filter? Like, over now that she's on the show and everything's seen much more.
Yeah, I definitely think, you know, last season in 410 we got to see a truly, you know, we learned more about Charlie. You know, before that she was just this girl in the apocalypse with the vultures, and you didn't really know a lot about her, and I think it was really cool, especially for me, to learn more about Charlie. And I think this year also we get to learn even more and, you know, see her really evolve, and that's really cool.
And I think one of the things we're excited about with Charlie is kind of exploring the idea of how does a kid live in this apocalypse but still find ways to be a kid and hold on to that innocence.
Definitely. It's really cool.
Now, what about the show, before you guys were cast, made you want to audition for the role?
How was it before we were cast?
Oh, sorry. Why did you want to audition for the role? Why did you want to join the cast?
Who wouldn't want to be in the apocalypse? That's the weird thing. And then when you're in it, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, I might as well just go with it. You just like the fantasy of it. Like, I see it a lot in the fans. Like, you know, when they come to greet us and all that, you can tell that they really want to be part of it. Like, they really wish they could be part of this apocalypse. They actually have theories like, I know what to do if this turns into the apocalypse.
Yes.
Like, oh my God. You don't really want to know.
I was going to say,
happens.
everyone thinks they could survive.
Yeah. So I think before joining the show, we'll have this fantasy of how cool it would be
Yeah, and then it becomes real.
And then it becomes real, and then you're having, you know, lunch with the walkers, and it's like happening.
Yeah.
And then it's
And you're
like,
doing stunts.
And then you're
it's
doing
like,
stunts.
Oh my God, I'm in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. So you just go with it, and it's a life-changing experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure for you guys, jumping in it.
Oh yeah, no,
How
it's
was it from
been,
your perspective?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Ian and I were both huge fans of both shows and of the universe, and getting to come in and just think about all those things about, like, wait, what did I do? How did I
will
do
you
this?
survive?
Yeah. And then also just thinking about all the kind of fun Walker gags we can do and how we can have some fun in that kind of aspect of the world. But then at the end of the day, the thing that's most exciting about it is really just looking at kind of the human emotion and everything is so heightened that it really allows you to explore how people would react in all this.
Definitely.
Speaking of gags and stuff, because this is such a heavy kind of show, do you guys try to play little jokes on each other here and there, or is it pretty much you
How
just
could
try
you
to
not?
stay? Well, that's the
I know,
thing. I'm
you
like
have
try to
to.
lighten it up a bit, you know. It's,
Well, yeah, I think we're all like in between scenes. Like we all are like super like fun and like outgoing and talkative, so we keep it like light and fun.
It's important.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so crazy what, you know, the boys come up with that you're like
Oh my
today's the
gosh.
day that we're
Yeah.
gonna do this. It's like, oh my god.
It's true.
Or you get the script, you're like, did you check what we're gonna do next week?
Yeah. Did you get this?
So it was I think you love the you know, the adrenaline of like, how can we handle it, but you just love that they're, you know, the imagination is so, like, the expectations are so high that you just want to go with it. Like, you have no choice. It's the fun part.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask a question that's already been asked, but I'll risk it. I guess.
Do it.
Okay, so structural. I just saw the trailer and everything, and it looks fantastic. It looks like a million things are happening, but it looks like a theme is children. It's like this children's group. Can you tell us anything about that?
Don't want to talk a lot about it, but we will say one of the things I mentioned earlier is that one of the themes we're really exploring this season is what living in a world like the apocalypse can do to you and what fear can do to you, and we'll be exploring that through a bunch of different characters' eyes. And I said one of the things we were excited to explore with Charlie was how a child can try to hold on to a bit of their innocence, and our group will come across some other survivors, and some of them may be some kids, and we may explore that theme with them as well.
I don't know if this was asked before then, but will Charlie get some sort of comeuppance this season? Because I feel like, certainly with her character, she's kind of got away with a lot of
Issues.
You know what I mean?
Well, Charlie's we definitely see her this year still continue to seek redemption with, her new family, but I think it happens in a lot of cool ways this year, and she really, I think she really is a part of.
She earned some love.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Charlie certainly
Yeah.
earns her place in the group.
Yeah, she earned it.
And for even the doubters out there who still may think she doesn't, hopefully,
Yes, there are a
hopefully
few.
by the end
Hopefully
of this
I'll win
half
them back.
season,
Hopefully
yeah.
I-
People be like,
My
"Okay."
turn is
Totally,
over,
yeah. But definitely.
But that's the good part. Like you actually go through a roller coaster before you earned it, and
Yeah.
and that's what really good storytelling is. Like you question it until you stop, and then when you stop questioning, like whether she really deserves it or not, then you're in love with her.
And it also shows how passionate the fans are,
Yeah,
too.
and how invested they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, I thought the episode where where the beginning of the redemption, I thought that was really well earned. Where drowning in the house. I can't remember the name of it,
Yeah.
but that episode blew me away. I thought you were really amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so
In
much.
terms of earning it as well, because we know that they have to try and earn the trust of the new people that they meet. How is that going to happen? Especially given, I believe, if you're still earning the trust of each other.
Right.
Yeah. How are you going to do that?
I
How hard is it going to come?
I was going to say, it's one of the kind of big themes we're exploring, and at the end of season 4, we heard Morgan on that radio saying, if you're out there, we're coming for you. But I think one of the things the entire group is going to struggle with is realizing that it may be a little bit harder than that, and helping people in a world that is filled with distrust is going to present a lot of challenges. And the other thing is, I think they're going to start to realize that, they may need to look outwards and help other people, but they're also going to need to look inwards and help themselves and help each other.
Yeah, it's the best way to help others, to help yourself. But it's a challenge. I think trust this season is a big one. Because every time we think that we got it right, because we trust the universe, it's like, nah, wrong place. But that's kind of like the journey.
So we're going to see some of the existing characters come together, trust each other more, and it's going to be more comparing, and if so, between any particular period.
Well, don't want to give away any of the specifics, but there definitely will be kind of continued growth between characters, and we'll see some new pairings of characters that we haven't seen before, and people earning trust in new ways, and some is going to be easier than others.
Will they remain together most of the season? Because last season they kind of split apart for a long period of time.
You can't say much.
We'll wait and see.
You'll see.
Darn it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.